AM 560. The Answer.
What Dr. Aaron felt when she referred to Bush in 1986, what she was referring to, see, I figured it out, Squirrel. What she was referring to was that the vice president, George Bush, disclosed the directive by Ronald Reagan that he signed in private, tying drugs to terrorism. And George Bush revealed this to the Los Angeles Times on June 8th, 1986, talking about the directive that was signed by President Reagan 2 months earlier, allowing stepped-up use of military force to stop narcotics flowing across the U.S.-Mexican border. See, Squirrel, that's what she was meaning. But, that's why I was like, Reagan. But don't doubt a woman who achieved her accomplishments without favoritism, without leverage, without political power, putting her in a position. But as for those women, they're morons. Like affirmative action Jackson, now as Supreme Court Justice, still stupid.
Some issues, some matters, some areas should be handled in this way by nonpartisan experts. That Congress is saying that expertise matters with respect to aspects of the economy and transportation and the various independent agencies that we have. So having a president come in and fire all the scientists and the doctors and the economists and the PhDs and replacing them with loyalists and people who don't know anything is actually not in the best interest of the citizens of the United States.
Well, stupid. You ignored all the economists when they told you what Obamacare would do. Stupid. You ignored all the economists when they told you what everybody owning a home would do. You ignored the economists when they warned of debt to GDP. Didn't you, stupid? But see, the philosophy of communism and Marxism and socialism relies on technocrats, irreplaceable forever bureaucrats that allowed this imbecile, this $2 whore, to become a Supreme Court justice. Didn't earn one bit of it. But she's prancing around with the costume on, aren't you? Glenn in Orlando. What happened to my guy Bill in Hinsdale? Glenn.
Hey, Shaun. So I have a very difficult question I need your help on.
All right.
Who is the most masculine Democrat out there?
Well, I think it's the dumbest. It's Tim Walz or Newsom. I think I'm safe with either one of those idiots.
I think this notion of this notion of toxicity in masculinity needs to be separated. And I think it's been conflated. And I think we're going to have to work on that a little bit. And I think there is a crisis.
I think some of us scare them. I think I scare them a little bit why they spend so much time on this. No, I'm serious, because I can fix a truck. They know I'm not bullshitting on this. Yeah. I'm not putting this in people's grill. I don't know if my identity is not hunting. My identity is not football coaching.
Your identity is that license place's stupidity you call a face. And I don't know in what neighborhood you're masculine and stupid, but it isn't anyone I've ever been in. How about you, Glenn? You ever deal with a real man like Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, with that stupid face?
I think the most masculine Democrat is probably Elizabeth Warren.
Good point.
So,
and she pees standing up, so I think you're onto something there, kid. No question about it. Boy, there's a bathroom you don't want to walk in. You got Michelle Obama on one side of you at a urinal and Elizabeth Warren on the other. The Indian. Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Oh, hey, Shaun. Thanks for taking my call.
Is it time for the Gospels, according to Craig?
Oh, yeah. I'm here.
Right.
And listen, so in an effort to be true to, God's word and basically, so yesterday you got half of the issue. So if things were all functioning properly and our leaders and these people that have all this authority over us, politicians and judges and mayors and governors and I talked about that yesterday. But see, we've got a problem here. These people don't act according to the responsibility that God gave them. They not only are they unjust.
Man gave them. That's where I argued with you yesterday. God doesn't give them authority. Morons called Democrats gave other morons temporary authority at my will.
But God's going to step in, and here's how it's going to work. So these people, they've taken and they've so violated what the desire of God is, that there would be justice, and they violate the innocence of people, of the young, the little kids, the rapes, the murders. They turn everything upside down. The criminals go free. They do all kinds, like J6 against innocent people. Now here's what's going to happen. God says he's going to, around one day, it's coming.
Well, could he get here while I can still do 50 push-ups? Because I'm dying to kick somebody's ass. Can you put a rush on it, the Pope?
God's going to round him up and everything like that and pour out his wrath on him. He's going to round them all up, and they're going to pay dearly. You won't have to bruise your knuckles on these people. God's going to get them all, and he's going to move in.
Hey, like I said, you're just as qualified as the new guy. I completely agree with it. There's my guy, Bill in Hinsdale.
Hey, Shaun, I got two quick ones for you. One, I got a Somali one and a finance one. What do you want first?
Oh, let me pick. Can I pick? All right. I don't know. Let's save the
turban.
Sure,
you can do whatever you want.
Let's save the turban with the foreskin. Let's save that one for last. Give me the finance one.
Okay. All right, I got a financial one. I've been camping on a couple S&Ps since May, and I knew Donald Trump with his tariffs would not blow up his whole life dream of being a great president. I think Donald Trump's AI is going to be compared to Bill Clinton's Silicon Valley. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm bullish, babe. I'm really, really bullish. And I talked to Mark after the show. I reached out to him. We were talking. I think that's going to save the world. I really do, because I think that's going to save America. And the other thing, too, I think, is why I love your play, by the way, is that the dollar is going to lose value, buying power, every millisecond for the next 3 years. Now, the economy may get much better, but nothing in comparison to the hedges against the failing dollar. So I like S&Ps. I still like silver. I think silver could go to 300.
I mean, I've been long since 5502, and
stop showing off. You want me to come over to the house and rob you now? Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm a bond trader / currency trader. I know nothing about S&Ps, but I just thought the tariffs, this guy's not going to sabotage his whole thing with tariffs going to 30,000. So anyway, with this Somalia, why in God's name aren't we spending 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, getting this rat out of Minnesota? And I mean,
she did it the Chicago way. They corrupted the government first. Keith Ellison is the fracking AG. He's on a tape used by a defendant saying, you come to me if you have a problem. I mean, if you were one of these half-ass short-in-the-pants Irishmen that went away to prison like Ed Burke, you should be really pissed off. Ellison, they got him on the tape. They didn't have. It's the same tape they used when what's his name was shaking down Burger King or whatever the hell he was doing. They got him on the tape. He was reelected.
I know, but Shaun, here's the thing. Where's Pam Bondi? Why is this not front and center? Get this lady out of here.
You got to build a case, and you got to fight through the crooked judges like Cook County. You know, Brandon Johnson, there's a clip of him saying, we won lawsuits. You didn't win lawsuits. You brought it before your crooked Grey Lord judge, and he gave you the ruling you paid for. It's a sick thing, but when the government becomes corrupted, you have little fiefdoms. They're not states anymore. Illinois is a fiefdom. Not because of the people, but because of the crooked Democrats that elected the butter-handed pansy. And that's why 33 counties said, I want to secede. Minnesota, New York, New Jersey, wherever they insulate themselves because the government becomes the mafia. It's the perfect scam. Yeah. It's perfect.
Well, I grew up caddying for those clowns at Beverly Country Club, Doliak, Burke, and Madigan. Look at them all. What a bunch of rats.
$2 gangster. I don't mind the gangster, especially one that tells you he is a gangster. He's got 5 times the integrity of these half-ass politicians who wanted you to think they were a politician and hid the fact they were gangsters. Thank you very much, Bill. Love the call. Dan and Wilmette.
Yeah, I just want you to know that those Tampon Timmy was supposedly a coach on a high school football team. He was nothing more than a clerk. However, he found time to spend, in the locker room when the kids were done with practice.
Oh, that's so gross.
So the kids called him, his nickname on the team was Sandusky, and they would chase him out of the locker room.
Oh, God, Dan, I hope that's the exact way it happened. You know, I kept thinking about this when we were in high school and all my guys, we joke around or whatever. If one of these guys came to the locker room, we'll beat the hell out of them. We'll give you a show. We'll beat the hell out of you. Can you imagine what these kids have put up with since they told kids that there are authorities and they're called your teacher? I love the fact that we're old enough to remember when if a teacher even looked at us cross-eyed, there was a problem. Dan, thank you very much for the call and reminding me of better times and Sandusky. I didn't think I'd hear that today. 312-642.